Welcome in, guys. This is Heather here with Underwater Panther, and today I wanted to speak on the October full moon in Aries, humanity's fire of balance. And I actually was just remembering that Aries was my very first book that I had ever written on the archetypes. I was scrolling through my website where I upload my books to, and I wanted to see if Aries was the first one that I had posted, and it actually wasn't. It was Pisces. But the very first book I wrote was Aries. I'm an Aries rising, and I absolutely love the Aries energy. So I do have a book on Aries. Trying to remember how many pages. 173 pages. I'm not sure how many videos I had done on Aries, but I'm certainly going to get back to Aries. That's for sure. So I'm not sure where I want to start here. I absolutely adore the Aries or ESTP energy. I have many Aries in my family. Many of them were pioneers in their own right, farmers and business entrepreneurs. My great-grandfather was an Aries, and he actually started he had bought, I think it ended up to be 11 airplanes, single-engine airplanes, and he ran the first airport in this area for many, many years out of his farmhouse. And then he ended up opening 4 or 5 other airports around this area within a couple hours radius of where my father still lives to this day. So I certainly appreciate the Aries energy. The Aries represents the first house and the energy of I am. They're here to test the rules, test traditions, live in the moment, and have a very high mechanical aptitude. The first house created the Aries energy, which represents the personality, personal issues, and personal affairs, all things dealing with I am. Personal people, things, and places you go and know. The cardinal fire is initiating, and so the cardinal is the temperament, astrologically speaking. It likes to initiate and create new ways of doing things. The fire represents seeing and feeling out the world that it's in. And so it is initiating and creating new ways of seeing, feeling, and doing in this world. Focuses on who you are as self and will express it unwaveringly, no matter what people say or do. So that is my rising sign. And that is certainly a huge reason why I am a pioneer in this own astro-psychological field. So I do want to go over a little bit more about the Aries energy first, and then I will get into my script. So to embody spring is to embody birth from the infant's point of view. So Aries represents the spring, although we are in fall. We are in Libra season currently. So the sun is in Libra, and the moon is a full moon, super moon actually right now in Aries. So the feminine moon is in Aries, and the masculine sun is in Libra, and they are polar opposites, but they still have many qualities and traits within each other, from each other. So Aries, representing spring, it is a awe-inspiring adventure and newness, childlike innocence, throwing oneself into the unknown, free spirit, courageous, trusting, enthusiastic, faithful, hopeful, openness to trying new things, has an abundance mindset, Aries does, won't accept defeat, gets back up over and over again like a baby learning to walk. They want to be first. The birth quality of spring is a form of fierceness. Aries is very active, driven, directed, and forceful. Aries is like the fire in motion, a rocket, a bullet, a speeding train. Aries is pure momentum, however, and it can work in short bursts and is not very strong. But let's remind ourselves the feminine has higher endurance than the masculine. Aries is a very masculine sign, though. The Aries has a very deep, burning trust, enthusiasm, and faith in their own journey. They see life's challenges as being things to overcome. Things are worth fighting for. If you jump, you have deep belief in things carrying through. The net or wings will appear on the way down. So that is just a little bit about the Aries. I think I have like a little shorter, I'm not sure if I put this in here or not. Aries in a nutshell. All right, so I'm going to do Aries in a nutshell, and then I'll get into what I was really going to do. I wrote this book many years ago. It was my first book. I think it was about 7 years ago that I wrote this. So I'm just kind of reminiscing here. So Aries in a nutshell, the Aries energy, personality archetype. So the first house, I am. So it's all about who you are. Cardinal fire, initiating and creating new ways. Fire, seeing and feelings out the world that it's in. Main objective is to initiate and create. Aries is right brain, yang fire. So it's right brain, very masculine, but in the yin of the right. So you break the brain into two sides. You've got the left and the right. The left being more logical, masculine, the right being more feminine and intuitive and emotional. Yin, water, internal realm, likes to take the inner realm, imagination, intuition, thoughts, all of your creative things that you can visualize, and the fire makes them want to express it. Very dynamic, outgoing, masculine energy. So keywords for the Aries archetype: independent, entrepreneurial, energetic, leader, intent, passionate, motivated, very desirous, pioneering, exploratory, combative, freedom fighter, defender, rescuer, worthy opponent, daredevil, adventurer, newborn innocence, and childlike playful. Examiner, scholar, craftsman, ramrod, impulsive, and thrill-seeking. Motivation is to develop a strong sense of self. Challenges, temper, self-centered, and impatient. Affirmation, I connect with my authentic self. So that was a little bit from my Aries book. I was very excited to dive back into that momentarily. And I actually, hopefully I don't bump the camera, I created key cards for every personality type. It certainly helps breaking Astro-Psychology down. So Aries is ruled by Mars, the masculine side of Mars. The feminine side of Mars is Scorpio, also ruled by Mars. And then we have the Sun and exaltation. So they are very, very scholarly. Very scholarly. They care about what they think. Certainly, in left field, we have Venus. It is hard for them to show love through words, they can be very affectionate. They're very sensual. Fire is the five senses, but they do show love more through action in a masculine way rather than in a feminine, soft type of way. And then we have Saturn in fall. So they can get tripped up in not looking further into the future and only living in the moment. All right, so we have the October full moon in Aries, humanity's fire of balance. One moon with many names. About every nation the same moon rises, yet every culture has given her a different name. To the Cherokee, she was Nawatewa, the great harvest moon, gratitude and cleansing. To the Choctaw, Hashhushkeo, the big ripening moon. The Muskogee Creek saw it as the final washing of the year's spirit. So I am incorporating 3 different tribes into my studies now. I am firing off my paperwork to those tribes. I've had a lot of inner work this year on reconnecting to my estranged Native American roots on my mother's side, and they have 3 tribes. That family is very, very deeply spiritually and in every sense Native American, and I certainly have that running through my blood. And so it's very important to me to start incorporating the Native American as much as every other culture that I study into my presentations. And I will certainly be learning the language and taking online courses as much as I can in my everyday life to reintegrate into where I came from. So in Europe, it became the hunter's moon when farmers finished the fields and hunters followed deer beneath her silver light. In China and Japan, the October full moon, she was the mid-autumn moon when families gathered moon viewing feast with lanterns, wine, moon cakes, celebrating reunion and harmony. In India, the same moon shone as Sharad Purnima, when Lakshmi, goddess of prosperity, was believed to walk the earth, and the moonlight itself was nectar. Amrit, falling on crops and lovers alike. In Burma and Thailand, Buddhists lit thousands of lamps for Thading Yut, honoring the Buddha's descent from heaven. Among Celtic peoples, it aligned with Samhain, the border between worlds, when ancestors returned through the firelight. So the Celtics were very witchy-like, weren't they? For South, the Maori called the October moon whirling a nuku, the moon of planting and preparation. The Zulu of Southern Africa called her, I am not even going to try to pronounce that, the time when the new shoots appear after the burn. The Aztecs offered flowers and cocoa to the moon goddess Metztli, thanking her for guiding the rainy season's end. One sky, many stories. Each people saw that they needed most. What they needed most: harvest, healing, reunion, remembrance. But all agree on one truth. The full moon is the mirror of completion, light revealing what was hidden. So we're going to get into the harvest and the turning. In the northern hemisphere, October is the Earth's exhale. Leaves fall, crops rest, animals migrate, and humans prepare for stillness. The full moon after the equinox is the threshold, the final gathering before darkness. And actually, in Creek tribal practices, they considered this the new year, which I can more agree on because I don't align with our current calendar. All of the tribal Native Americans had a 13-cycle calendar that had actually followed the lunar cycles. So keep that in mind. Patriarchy and all of that has certainly turned every aspect, including the calendar, up on its head. So I have been practicing my own way of celebrating the seasons, not in align with the Western seasons for a very long time. All right, so every ancient calendar marked it as sacred time. The Egyptians poured milk and honey to Isis. The Greeks honored Demeter and Persephone. The Romans held rites for Pomona, goddess of fruit. All were stories of descent. sunlight giving way to the womb of winter. Spiritually, it is the same within us. The moment to harvest what we've learned, to release what was withered, to trust that rest is not death, but renewal. Aries, the fire of light. This year, the harvest moon rises in Aries, first sign of the zodiac, the flame of birth, ruled by Mars. Aries energy is primal courage, the yes that began everything. At the full moon, the fire meets reflection, instinct meets insight. It is not coincidence that many warrior cultures held October rites of renewal. The Romans purified Mars's temple. The Norse offered mead to Thor for protection through storms. The Japanese samurai wrote moon poems on courage and impermanence. The Aries full moon reignites those same qualities. The will to live authentically, to act, protect, create, and lead. But fire without heart is destruction. Fire with awareness is transformation. The masculine and feminine as universal forces. I have to throw this in here because of my masculine and feminine series here on YouTube. I'm taking it everywhere, not just psychology. I cannot help myself. So every full moon is a dialogue between the sun and the moon. In this case, the Libra sun and Aries moon. Libra speaks of relationship and harmony, the sacred feminine of balance. Aries speaks of identity and action, the sacred masculine of initiation. So these forces exist in everyone, not in gender, but in essence. The masculine in you focuses, decides, protects, and builds. The feminine in you initiates, nurtures, and receives. And it's hilarious because my grandfather is a Libra. His mother was a Libra. Her husband, the pilot, was an Aries. So we have a lot of Aries and Libra energy in my family. It just kind of cracks me up. I love both. So when they separate, we see conflict, domination, passivity, and confusion. When the masculine and feminine unite, we see creativity and peace. This full moon invites both energies home. Men are called to open the heart behind their strength. Women are called to stand firm in their wisdom. And every soul is called to remember that wholeness was never divided to begin with. Lessons from history. In ancient China, sorry, I just had a cricket run towards me and it kind of freaked me out. I think I'm going to scare it away. Jeez. Okay, so anyways, I'm in my shed right now. So in ancient China, emperors and empresses offered moon sacrifices together, yin and yang balanced in ritual. In Hindu temples, priests and priestesses chanted under Sharad Purnima, reminding devotees that Shiva, consciousness, and Shakti, energy, are one. In Greek mystery schools, initiates of Demeter learned the descent into darkness was necessary for rebirth, an early form of shadow work. In native North America, full moon dances were healing circles where both men and women prayed for community, balance. Warriors fasted while grandmothers sang over water. I actually have my dragon. I finally got my dragon bowl, and I have water in here from a creek. They named a creek after my grandfather, and so I had to take some water from our creek under a bridge, of course, right? All right, so the Inca honored Mama Quilla, moon, mother of timing and fertility, whose phases guided planting and childbirth alike. In West Africa, Yoruba devotees saw the moon as Yamaja's face upon the ocean, the divine mother governing tides and emotions. Each tradition reflected one idea. The moon governs cycles, not just of nature, but of consciousness. To follow her is to live awake and to change. The psychological moon. Modern psychology mirrors ancient insight. The moon represents the subconscious, feelings, habits, and intuition. When it's full, our inner world is illuminated. We see both the healed and the hidden. That's why people feel emotional or restless. The psyche's tides are high. Aries energy adds honesty. It demands stop pretending, act. So this moon becomes a mirror for authenticity, showing where we over-compromise, over-control, or fear visibility. It's initiation to reclaim self-trust. Sovereignty and boundaries. Sovereignty means living by inner authority instead of external approval. It is the sacred right of every human being. Under this moon, men are asked to lead with heart rather than ego. Women are asked to nurture without losing self. All are asked to set boundaries born of respect, not revenge. Boundaries are spiritual hygiene. They turn chaos into clarity, emotion into guidance. They say, I can love you without abandoning me. When societies forget boundaries, they call it progress, but find burnout. When individuals forget them, they call it kindness, but find resentment. Relearning boundaries is the path back to balance. All right, so now I kind of wanted to get more. I might do another video. I've got plenty of things I wanted to say. I might just keep going a little bit further with this. Not sure, but anyways, I'm going to get into the ritual of the 5 elements. Fire represents purpose. Light a flame. So I'm love flame. I've been a pyro my whole life. I love candles, if you cannot tell. All right, so say, I honor the fire of action and courage. May I act from love, not impulse. Water. Touch water. I honor the water of feeling. May I flow and forgive. Air represents mind. Breathe deeply. I honor the air of clarity. May my words heal, not harm. And earth represents body. Touch ground. I honor the earth of stability. May I stay humble and present. So the fire, water, earth, and air actually are broken down temperamentally with all of the personality types. And I have been studying this guide for a long time. So shout out to CF Joseph. I actually did ask him if I could use this as a reference in my psychology books. So you've got the Guardians, you've got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Those are the earth signs. You've got the artisans or the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. We have the air signs, also known as the intellectuals, which are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And then you have the idealist or water signs, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And there are 4 for the background types I have not gotten into yet, but eventually after I write all of my books on these personality types, I'll get into the final 4. The final countdown, dun, 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 but that's not going to be for another however many years. I've got a long ways to go here, but so breaking down, everything breaks down into 4s. You've got the 4 sides of the ego, the hero, parent, child, inferior. You've got the ego, subconscious, unconscious, and superego. You've got I just did a video on this, Mandela. You've got all of the tribes, everyone that studies the archangels and the dragons. You have the east, south, west, and north. So you're going to find the number 4 everywhere. Certainly everywhere. I've got a dump. We went to the river today, and I have a whole bunch of shells and driftwood that I need to put on my plate here. We love going to the river and collecting shells. I've done that my whole life. Anyways, sidetracking here per usual. All right, so remembering the sacred feminine. So this is very, very important, and societally on a global scale, you are going to see the feminine rising up from the ashes. I am finding myself having my own feminine healing journey with my reconnecting to my indigenous roots, and that is very healing with my feminine wound within myself. I am tired of all of the silence within the feminine on every realm. So, for centuries, societies feared the feminine, not women alone, but the principle of receptivity, emotion, and mystery. The burning of midwives, the silencing of intuition. God, that's a deep one. All of this is so deep. The burning of midwives. Yes, I mean, all of the witch hunts. Tens of thousands of women were burned, and most of them were midwives and medicine women. And it is such an awful, deep story. And then you find that the indigenous people were ran from their land and ways. It's everywhere. It is certainly everywhere. The separation from Earth, Mother Earth, the separation from our own nature, our own identity. All were symptoms of forgetting, yet the moon never stopped teaching. She cycles through darkness without shame. She glows by reflecting another's light. She embodies renewal itself. To remember the sacred feminine is to honor rhythm, empathy, rest, and beauty as holy powers. To remember the sacred masculine is to protect, focus, and act in service, not control. When both awaken within you, you become whole, not a gender, but a balanced human being. How to use the moon for self-development. So I'm going to close with this. Number 1, reflect, journal what this year has taught you. What have you outgrown? Release, burn, or bury symbols of old patterns. Thank them for their lessons. Reclaim, write 3 truths about who you are now. Speak them out loud under the moon. Realign, make 1 practical change that supports those truths. Rest, sleep intentionally. Dreams under this moon carry guidance, and I highly, highly recommend keeping a dream journal. I used to actually lucid dream a lot. It was a very fun childhood and teenage years with dreaming for me, and I have not worked on that necessarily, but I still listen to meditation every single night. So I am trying to reclaim gifts that I had once lost. Closing blessings. Beneath this October full moon in Aries, may your fire burn bright but never blind you. May your heart be brave enough to feel. May your mind stay clear as the autumn sky. May your roots drink deep from the earth. May your spirit remember that it has always been whole. We are all children of the same light, hunters, healers, lovers, seekers, walking beneath one moon, learning again to balance fire and water, action and grace, the sacred feminine and masculine within us all. So I'm going to actually leave here. I added more to this. Ritualizing the October full moon in Aries. So I just wanted to leave you with a practice that you can do yourself. Preparation, creating sacred space. So the night of the full moon, which is actually, I think that was yesterday, but I am feeling it more today. I normally feel the energy from the moon 2 days prior and 2 days after or so. So it depends on you, honestly. So the night of the full moon, depending on yourself, or within 24 hours, 48 hours before or after, set the space, dim the lights, open a window so you can see or sense the moon. Place the 5 elements around you: fire, a candle or small flame; water, a bowl or glass of clean water; air, incense, feather, or open breeze; earth, stones, soil, shells, driftwood, all of the things. Or a potted plant. Spirit, something meaningful, a photo, a symbol, or your breath itself. This is certainly something that I am working with my mandala. I suggest that you make your own mandala or a vision board. A vision board is also very helpful. Intention statement. Tonight I stand between fire and water. I call all parts of myself home: body, heart, mind, and spirit. May this full moon reveal, release, and renew. Take 3 deep breaths. Feel the air enter the circle. The ground steady your feet. Honoring the ancestors and the earth. Before we begin, we remember the hands that kept the fires before us. Speak gratitude for those who farmed, hunted, protected, healed, and birthed under earlier harvest moons. If you wish, offer a small piece of food, grain, or flour to the earth and say, "For all who came before me and for all who will come after, may this work bring balance." This connects your ritual to the human lineage of full moon Thanksgiving. The Cherokee water blessings, the Celtic fires, the Asian lantern feast, and the African seed rites. Now, I am actually I've got flowers in here. I'm going to try not to bump the camera, but I am certainly going to dump what we found on my plate here because it is time. I've got my Aquarian. I'm obsessing with Aquarian right now. I'm hoping you're enjoying my Aquarian videos. All right. There, now I feel better. I thought this rock was really pretty. All right. Got my offering here. All right. The fire rite. Aries activation. Stand or sit facing your flame. Aries energy is initiative, willful, and courageous. Awaken the fire. Step 1. Look into the flame. Now name aloud 3 actions or qualities you wish to strengthen this season. I ignite courage 2. I ignite clarity 2. And I ignite passion 2. Step 2, feed the fire. Write on a paper what blocks that power. Fear, doubt, exhaustion, perhaps toxic relationships. Fold it, hold it safely near the flame, and then drop it into a fire-safe bowl to burn. Watch smoke rise. Imagine it carrying limitation away. I honestly do that often. The water rite, cooling and feeling. Now move to the bowl of water. Bowl of water. Gosh, I love this bowl. Isn't that beautiful with the dragons? I'm not sure if you can see it. Move to the bowl of water. Aries can overheat the nervous system. Water restores flow. Dip your fingers or a cloth and touch your forehead, throat, and heart. Whisper, I cool my thoughts, I calm my voice, I open my heart. If emotion arises, let tears fall into the water. I've certainly been crying a lot lately, which I never do, but I am making it now a ritualistic thing. This is the ancient purification, known in Cherokee and Creek ceremony as going to water. Pour the water onto soil afterward, returning emotion to the earth. Now we have step 5, the breath rite, air and intention. Light incense or wave a feather through the smoke, which I will do after this video. Inhale 4. Hold 2. Exhale 6. Do this 3 times. With each exhale, imagine releasing mental clutter. Speak a vow for communication. May my words carry truth and kindness. May I speak when silence hides the soul, and rest when words would wound. This honors air, the unseen bridge between people. The grounding rite, earth and boundaries. Touch the ground, stone, or plant. I'm going to get my driftwood. It's my favorite. Touch the ground, stone, or plant. Feel its presence. Visualize roots from your feet descending into the soil. Say, I root my energy. I honor my limits. My boundaries make me fertile ground. not barren walls. If you have written new boundaries or commitments, bury or place them under a stone as a living promise. Spirit unification, the inner marriage. Now sit in stillness, all elements around you. Visualize 2 lights inside your chest. A golden flame, the active, expressive principle. A silver glow, the receptive, intuitive principle. Let them spiral together until they become one sphere of white light. This is the sacred union of masculine and feminine within. Whisper, within me, sun and moon embrace. Within me, doing and being rest as one. I am whole. Stay silent for a minute. Feel warmth radiating through body and aura. Harvest reflection and journaling. Under the moonlight, write in a journal. Number 1, what have I accomplished or learned since spring? Number 2, what am I ready to release? Number 3, what seeds of courage do I plant for the next cycle? Optional additions from cultural tradition. Eat a small portion of bread, fruit, or rice, symbol of harvest gratitude. Play soft music or drum, echo of communal dance. Leave a portion of your food outside, offering for wildlife or ancestors. Closing and grounding. Extinguish the candle gently. Thank each element out loud. Fire, thank you for your courage. Water, thank you for feeling. Air, thank you for clarity. Earth, thank you for stability. Spirit, thank you for connection. Stand, stretch, touch your heart, and breathe. Visualize moonlight wrapping around you like a cloak. Say, the ritual ends, but the rhythm continues. What I release returns as wisdom. What I plant will bloom in its time. After ritual integration, rest. The body processes spiritual heat through sleep. Hydrate. Water anchors new energy. Act within 3 days. Aries rewards concrete steps. Send the message, start the project, hold the boundary you declared. Record dreams. They're often vivid near full moons. And I'm going to leave you with a closing blessing. Under this October full moon in Aries, may every person remember the balance of the elements within. May men and women and all beings walk with equal fire and compassion. Lead with purpose and listen with grace. May the sacred feminine rise not above, but beside the sacred masculine. And may their union birth a kinder world. Ase, aho, amen. Kashikomi Mao. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.